Hi guys, welcome to our third video of cooking. My assistant Maggie is with me again, and we're going to show you tonight how to make homemade pizzas. This is my favorite thing in the world to make. It's delicious. The only thing about homemade pizzas is it's really time consuming. So I've done a lot of prep work already, and I'll show you how to do all that stuff. But once you're done with all of these, you're going to be super happy you learned how to do them. Okay? The first thing we're going to do is prepare our dough, okay? And what you can do with dough is to buy the dough at a local pizza place, okay? Most places have dough that you can buy. They're called dough balls. And what I do is I go buy 2 or 3 of the dough balls and bring them home. They're only $2 or $3, and it's super helpful because making your own dough at home can be really time consuming. And you really don't need to do it. And really, I'm not good enough at making this dough for it to be better than what I can buy from those places. So what I recommend you do is to go buy these at a local pizza place, okay? I actually get mine in Marietta, but you can get them at different places. Most of the time, the places you can buy them are the local spots, not really the chain places. The chain places used to do it, but they quit doing it. I don't know why, for health reasons, I guess. But this is what we're going to use. So the first thing we want to do is grease our pan. So Maggie, can you give me a spray on that pan?
Sure. All around?
Yep. Go all on the edges. Perfect. Okay? And what that does is it keeps the dough from sticking to the pan when you take it out of the oven. So you can go and put the lid back on that and set it behind you.
Okay.
What I'm doing right now is basically stretching the dough. Okay? It comes in about a ball size or kind of like a frisbee size, but you want to get it to where it's the size of the pan plus an inch or two longer. Okay? So I'm going to work on stretching this out. And all you're going to do is look for the places in the dough that are really thick and just kind of let it stretch down from that. Okay? Just kind of work it around. You don't need to toss it up in the air like the professionals do on television because all that does is make a mess. Okay?
And sometimes it can stick on the ceiling.
Sometimes it can stick on the ceiling. Okay? That doesn't mean I've ever done that.
If you throw it too high.
Yeah. So, while I'm working on this, I want to tell you about the sauce. You can make a homemade sauce, which is always going to be better than the stuff you buy in a can or a jar. Okay? Inside this sauce is what's called De Fratelli tomato sauce. I get that at Walmart in Marietta, although sometimes they have it at Walmart in Parkersburg. I haven't seen it anywhere else, but we've tried several different kinds, and that's the one we like the best. Side note, I actually think that's what Da Vinci's uses in theirs, because it kind of tastes the same to start. But we add some other things to ours. Another thing I put inside of it is pesto. Maggie, can you hold the pesto up? You can buy pesto at any grocery store, okay? Pesto is basically going to be basil, garlic, and olive oil. Sometimes it has nuts in it, like macadamia nut pesto, or you can make an almond pesto. It really doesn't matter what you put in it, but basil, olive oil, cheese usually goes in it, Parmesan cheese, and lots of garlic, okay? That's what makes everything good is garlic, and we're going to use garlic all day today. Okay, you can see how this dough is really starting to get stretched out, okay? The last thing we need in our sauce is I use Italian seasoning. Maggie, can you hold the Italian seasoning for me? Yep. Hold it up and show the camera. Okay. You can buy that anywhere. It's just dry Italian seasoning. It has oregano, parsley, basil, all the different, probably rosemary in it, all the different seasonings that you could use as herbs. They kind of mix those all together and make an Italian seasoning. And that just flavors the sauce along with the pesto. So at the end, you're going to see the sauce that we're going to use for our pizza, and it makes the pizza super flavorful. The other thing you can put in there is sugar, if you like to. I don't do it, but sometimes you might go to a restaurant and it tastes like the pizza has a real sweet taste to it, a little bit sweeter taste. The reason for that is because there's sugar in their sauce. Okay, you certainly don't have to do that. I've done it before. I like it, but I also like it without. Okay, we're getting pretty. What is it? Maggie says everybody, she hopes you had a really good Easter. We all do too. We had a really good Easter here. The Easter Bunny came to see us, and we had a great time as a family. All right, we're ready to lay this out on the pizza pan, okay? You can make these kind of any size you want. I bought 2 large doughs, and I just kind of squeeze them in half, and that makes 2 medium-sized ones to stretch out, because the pans we have aren't usually the size of the large and the extra large sizes that they have at a restaurant. Okay, so you can see how I'm just going to throw it over the pan, and then you're just going to pull the edges over. Okay, you want it nice and thin, and the reason for that is because if you have a thick crust on here, it's going to rise even more in the oven. And when it does that, it's going to be hard to cook. It's going to be doughy in the middle and burnt on the edges. So you want a thin crust, okay? And then you want to poke holes just kind of in the middle so you don't get those holes. I'm sure you've seen the holes in pizzas. Just give it a few pokes where the pizza comes up, where the dough rises up, where the air is, and let that air out.
Really
You can see how I have it folded underneath it here. I'm going to show you why here in a minute, okay? So this one that we're going to make is actually cheese pizza, okay? Just plain cheese pizza, and we're going to use our sauce to do that. Maggie, can I have that spoon?
Can I like spread it? And...
I'm going to show them how to do it on this one, okay? You want to put it all in the middle, okay? Don't put it on the edges. And what you want to do is you want to take your spoon and just start going in a circle out wide, okay? If you don't do it that way and just try to smear it everywhere, it doesn't make the sauce even, okay? So just go in a circle, and you really can put that sauce all over the pizza without using a ton of it. You don't want a ton of sauce because you don't want it dripping all over the pizza. You see how it's starting to, we need to poke a hole in there just to get a little bit of air, okay? Let that pizza go back down. Don't worry about there being a hole there because it'll cover up when it cooks, okay?
And the cheese and all that covers it up.
Yeah, and you want to go all the way to the edges. That might seem like you're doing it on the crust, but it's not, okay? I'm going to show you what we do here in a minute, okay? So go all the way to the edges with your sauce, and then we're going to put the cheese on it. We love lots of different toppings on our pizzas. All 5 of us like something different, but really, cheese pizza is about as good as it gets. I could eat cheese pizza all the time. I like putting fun toppings on it, but I really like just plain cheese pizza. Maggie, can you help me sprinkle that cheese all over the pizza?
Yeah.
You can buy these big bags of mozzarella cheese anywhere. We buy the 1 and 2 pound bags. Just grab it. Because we go through it constantly. Okay, I've got 2 huge bags of mozzarella cheese in there. We go through it all the time. And you don't have to cover the whole pizza with the cheese, okay? It's actually going to melt. And as it melts, it's going to cover the rest of the pizza, okay?
Explosion.
All right.
I just put a drop of cheese on there.
Looks like we have a little bit more. We'll just use the rest of it on this pizza, okay? Okay. Spread that around. Can you not make a mess? Just spread it around gently. Okay. All right. That one's ready to go as far as what we want to put on it, because there's a ton of flavor in the sauce, so we don't have to put a bunch of herbs on it. But you could. You could put Italian seasoning on this. You can put salt and pepper on it, whatever you want to put on it. But this one already has a ton of flavor because of what we put in the sauce. Okay? So now what we're going to do is pull the edges up. Okay? That's going to give us our crust. Part of this pizza is going to have a huge crust because of how much overlap we had. Okay, you can see right there, we don't need that much crust. If we made that, it would just droop down in the oven. So what we're going to do is cut it off. Okay? Just use scissors.
Can I cut it?
Cut it off. And then what I'm going to do is make these in about 2 or 3 inch sticks, twist it up, and they go right in there. Baby. You can see what we're going to do with that. We're going to make garlic twist bread. Okay? You can twist that up. So all you're going to do is go around the edges of the pizza and see where the excess dough is. Don't cut it up here to the edge because then it's going to release back and you're not going to have any crust. Okay? You want to give yourself a little bit of room.
Can I get some?
Okay? I'll do the cutting. You do the twisting. Okay? Twist that up for me. You can finish twisting those up. And it looks like we got a little bit of an excess over here.
Gotta make sure there's there might be not much room, but you can make sure on the edges. I put them on the edges because there's room there.
Okay, so Maggie's going to finish that, and as I pull the rest of this dough up, you're going to see that it's going to give you a natural crust. Okay?
No.
This probably has a little bit more than we need. Okay? But that's going to give you a nice crust for your pizza without you having to make a crust. As I was learning how to do these, I always try to make a crust by pressing it down, and it was just a pain in the butt. So all I did was make extra dough, and that way we can make garlic sticks as well. So there's one pizza that we're going to do. That's cheese pizza. Everybody in the family likes cheese pizza. I want to show you the other pizzas that we did. Okay, we've got actually 5 different kinds because we all like different kinds, and we don't usually make 5 pizzas. We usually make 2 or 3 with some garlic sticks. But my family loves so many different things that I want to show you some different ideas because it's really easy to make gourmet pizza. Okay, so this one is Katie and Molly's favorite. Okay, they love mushroom pizza. This one will not last long when it comes out of the oven, so I have to make sure I do it last to guarantee I get a piece. Okay, just a minute. So the first thing we have is mushrooms. Okay, I buy regular mushrooms, just the regular button mushrooms in the store, and you can slice them up. What you don't want to do is rinse mushrooms for very long because then it absorbs the water. You just kind of want to take a wet towel and wash them off, and then I just sauteed them in butter. Okay, so what we can do is take these and start putting them on. Lay those out for me. While she's doing that, I want to show you the garlic. Okay, we love roasted garlic. Okay. Roasted garlic is really easy to use. Okay, it sounds like, wow, we have these whole pieces of garlic down here, but they're not actually really. Once you roast them in the oven, they're not going to be hard to eat. They're just going to be a lot of flavor. And the way to get garlic out of these cloves that we are out of the wrapping, basically that they come in, you just want to pop them down really hard with a knife. Okay, and that will come right off of the garlic just like that. Okay.
I feel like I'm doing a good job.
You're doing a great job. Okay? And we don't need these whole pieces of garlic. Okay, so you can just kind of chop them up and smash them up. Okay? And we'll put those on the pizza. Once they come out of the oven, they're going to be edible. You can't eat a piece of garlic like this. I mean, I guess you could. But raw garlic is really, really potent. But once you roast it in the oven, it's full of flavor and gets rid of all the rawness. So we're going to put this all over the pizza. If you've never tried mushroom and garlic pizza, or garlic on your pizza or anything like that, I really hope you try this. You're not going to find a more flavorful pizza than this, okay? I'm sure that some of you are looking at this right now thinking, wow, there's no way I could eat that much garlic. Believe me, it's really good and it's really easy to eat once it comes out of the oven. You might not want to sleep with your husband after he eats it, but so what? It's worth eating the pizza, okay? All right, so now we have that one assembled, okay? And we're going to finish these crusts at the end. After they come out of the oven, I'm going to show you what to do with the crusts. Okay? The next one we're going to do is a favorite of mine. If you've ever been to Pies and Pints in Charleston or Fayetteville or in Columbus, anywhere, one of the pizzas they have there is called a grape pizza. Okay? I love grape pizza. I've been trying to perfect it ever since I ever tried it, and we have figured out ways to do it. I'm going to cut the excess off of here. There's a little bit excess on this one, but not a lot. And Maggie will go over there and put it in the garlic bread. Okay, take those. Okay, but for the most part, this one's pretty good. Okay.
Garlic bread is the best.
So to do this pizza, I'm not actually going to use a red sauce on the bottom. Okay, I'm going to use olive oil.
A lot of olive oil.
And garlic.
It's right here. And how many
And garlic.
breadsticks we have?
Okay, and I'm going to put this garlic on there. I showed you about the garlic last week. All I'm going to do is spread this all over the crust. Maggie, can you hand me the, oh, it's right here,
Darn it.
the brush.
Oh, I
Okay.
love the brush thingy.
All right, so I'm going to brush the garlic all over it, all the way to the edge, just like we did before, because when we release the crust back, it's going to come back and give us a crust. So you don't want to stop here. You want to go all the way to the edge. Okay. And again, this looks like a ton of garlic, and normally it would be if you're eating it raw, but we're going to roast it in the oven. Okay. When garlic cooks at 450 or 500 degrees, it takes away all the bitterness and the rawness, and it just leaves the flavor. So it's not too bad. Okay. All right, so there's that. Now, what we're going to do to this also is add the grapes. Okay, we have red grapes cut up. Red grapes If you've never had grape pizza, that sounds weird, but it's really good. I really encourage you to try it. Maggie, can you start spreading the grapes all over that? And I'm going to show them about rosemary, okay? The next thing we're going to put on the grape pizza is rosemary, okay? This is rosemary. You can get it fresh in the store. In the vegetable section, they usually have these little packets of them, okay? Or if you might know somebody who grows it. The way to get rosemary off a stem is just hold the top of it with one hand and then pull down. Okay, it comes right off the stem. It leaves these little leaves, okay? Just like that. Slide it down, pulls it right off of there. And then you're going to chop it up. I'll chop it up a little bit. I've got a bunch of it there already. You don't want huge rosemary leaves on your pizza because rosemary goes a long way. So little tiny bits of it here and there.
Okay, Dad.
Awesome job. Okay.
Can I put it on?
Yep, sure can. All right, so we're going to take some rosemary. There's some more right there, Maggie. You can grab that. And just sprinkle it all over the pizza. All the way to the edge. Okay.
Oh, I've seen this rosemary before on garlic bread and all that.
Absolutely. Okay. The last thing we're going to put on here is blue cheese. Okay. I know some of you are probably looking at this pizza thinking, yeah, that's not the one I'm going to eat. And that's fine. I get it.